Yes, I'm making a documentary.
About what?
About officers from this police station and 2 other police stations.
Can you stop recording?
No, I have the right to record you.
You need to put the video down.
No, I do not have to put the video down.
You do?
No, I do not, madam.
Why are you from this station anyway?
I've already told you I'm making a documentary.
About what?
About officers from this police station and 2 other police stations, okay, that committed sexual offences and only got an 18-month suspension. Okay, that is the reason why I'm here.
What are the officers?
Their names, I can't remember all 5 of their names, okay, but literally it was between here, Twickenham and Kingston upon Thames. It was those 3 police stations that came together as one, okay, and put a unit together, and that's when the offences were committed. And literally, as human beings, I just want to know whether or not any serving police officer actually...
I don't know the circumstances of the name. Can I? Like, you're filming and asking people to comment, like police officers, right?
Yep.
But you're not telling me the circumstances of the name, so how am I meant to comment if I don't
But
know?
as I already said, I can't remember all 5 of their names,
Yeah.
okay, but it was between all 3 of the police stations.
But do you not think this is like not the right way to go about it? Because you should just ask if you can speak to someone, and then someone will invite you in, and then you can have a talk about it.
Well, I've tried contacting the press office, and literally I've had nothing back.
Right. The thing is, you can't film out here of the police station.
Why can I not?
Because people think you're doing something else.
Well, no, I'm doing a perfectly lawful activity,
Yeah.
okay, I've told you exactly why I'm here.
Yeah, but do you understand why this looks...
Well, yeah,
like
if you didn't stop me, you wouldn't be doing your job, and I understand that,
Yeah.
okay, but then what you've also then got to remember, I have the legal right to do exactly what I'm doing,
Okay.
and that is what I'm doing,
Okay, thank you.
okay, and that is exactly what I'm doing, okay. So when you actually look at it as a whole, I'm doing a completely lawful activity. I've been here for a while. I've spoken to several officers already. Okay, I've had nice interactions.
Yeah.
I've had only 1 aggressive officer,
Right.
okay, that I will be putting a complaint in about.
Okay.
But the majority of the officers have been really pleasant and really lovely.
Yeah.
And it's like, even when I was over at Kingston upon Thames, the welcome that I got from Kingston upon Thames was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
The conversation you're hearing continues a larger theme that's emerging across modern public auditing encounters: the balance between accountability, public scrutiny, and personal perception of intimidation. At this location connected to London policing, the auditor is pursuing a documentary-style investigation into misconduct allegations involving officers who were reportedly involved in sexual offense cases and later received administrative suspension. This is important context because it explains why the interaction carries emotional and institutional weight. The auditor isn't simply filming a station. He is attempting to provoke dialogue about trust, justice, and professional responsibility inside law enforcement structures. When historical misconduct allegations are connected to present authority figures,
We're at Twickenham.
Right.
And this is the thing. And then when you look at your colleague that just came over with you, telling me to stop filming, I don't have to stop filming. Okay, now you've been lovely and pleasant to talk to, and I do appreciate your time, and I do appreciate that you did stop me. Because as I said, if you didn't stop me, you wouldn't be doing your job.
Yeah.
Okay, and I understand that. And that's why I welcome any engagement with any officer, and that is what it's about, is being able to talk.
Yeah.
Because if we don't talk, that's where the divide is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay? But you got to admit, the way that your colleague came over just then, okay,
I think
was
it's-
very wrong.
I think sometimes when you put a camera in someone's face, it's a
No,
little bit
she walked to me.
intimidating.
No, she walked to me.
No, but obviously we coming over to you, and like with you putting the camera at me now, it is quite intimidating.
No, but this is the thing.
Film,
No, but this is the thing. You both knew that I had a camera, and
Yeah, so
you
that's
came
why we
to me.
asked to see what you're doing.
Yep.
What I'm saying is now, like you've got the camera on me, which
Yep.
is fine because you're allowed to do it, but it's a little bit intimidating for me to be filmed. Do you understand that? Like,
Yeah, I
if
know,
was
but
filming you, it's
but
like a little
but
bit
then you have the right to walk away from the camera.
Yeah.
You have the right to walk away from the camera.
As police, you have to like ask you what you're doing, investigate. Like,
Yeah, but then as a member of the public, I have the right not to say anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not like that, okay? That's why I said I welcome any form of engagement at all. Any form of engagement. Because as I said, okay, there's a lot of fantastic officers out there. There's a lot of fantastic officers out there.
Yeah.
And it's also those officers that need to be shown to the public, okay? So the public don't lose faith in the police. And this is also the big thing, okay, that I like to do, is also highlight a lot of good work that serving police officers do. It's like I was only over at Surrey headquarters literally a few weeks ago, and literally what I learned to do with what goes on to do with the actual Thin Blue Line and Casper, the actual charity, it was really interesting.
Notice how the officer challenges filming activity by framing it as socially inappropriate rather than legally prohibited. This is a common psychological response in authority encounters, shifting the argument from law to social comfort. The legal reality in UK public spaces is that filming what is visible in a publicly accessible area is generally permitted unless specific restrictions apply. That distinction is critical because many disputes arise from policy expectations rather than statutory law. What is especially interesting here is the auditor's strategy. Instead of reacting defensively, he immediately states his purpose: documentary investigation related to historical officer misconduct cases.
Offer, because that is what it's about, is literally showing people like yourself, like where you've come up to me and the way that you've spoken and the way that you've engaged, okay, has been absolutely incredible. The only thing that I haven't asked you, would you mind identifying yourself, please?
Yeah, what's your name?
I would decline on that.
I'm just going to scan that as well then.
No, under your policy, you have 3 forms of identification, okay, and you have to identify yourself if a member of the public asks, whether or not that's your collar number, your actual warrant card, okay, and you're not in uniform either.
No.
Okay, so that's why I'm asking you just to actually fully identify yourself, even if it is only your collar number.
Yeah.
When your colleague came along, she showed me a warrant card.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just asking you to identify yourself. That's fine.
That's 2048.
No worries, thank you very much. Okay, and that's the thing. This is why I told you it's about the engagement. I told you why I was here.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't know the actual case. You couldn't make a comment on it. But then the way that we're actually talking now, this is how it should be. Okay, and I know everybody's had an absolutely unbelievable year and a half. Okay, that's been absolute hell for everybody. And this is the thing, we also need to highlight the good things that are being done. Okay, so don't think that it was just about being here and literally having things that go wrong. It's not about that. Okay, it's also highlighting the good things as well that goes on.
The auditor introduces a powerful argument here. Lawful activity does not require permission if it occurs within legally permitted public observation zones. What we are seeing is a clash between perceived operational control and constitutional-style public freedom principles. The officer's concern appears rooted in image sensitivity and operational privacy, while the auditor's position is grounded in open-source accountability philosophy. The most interesting detail is the acknowledgement that engagement itself is not the problem. The auditor repeatedly reinforces that he welcomes conversation with officers. That's a strategic de-escalation technique. By positioning himself as cooperative rather than antagonistic, he shifts the burden of escalation onto the responding officer.
So you can see literally the officer that came up and gave me all the aggression literally and just decided literally to turn her back and be very, very rude. The other officer, the one that's in the actual white and black trousers, it's been really nice to talk to, really pleasant. The other one was very, very quite arrogant and very rude. And that's the problem. And that's why when you look at it as a whole, it's not right in the way that things are done. So, and that's why we do exactly all what we can do, okay, and why we do it, okay, is literally, it's about literally engaging with the actual public, and that isn't what's being done, and that's why we do what we do, and that's why it's literally, it's about doing what we do, okay, and making ourselves literally very, very open with what we do. She came along, I told her exactly why I was here, and she decided to get very, very funny. So, and this is why I would do exactly what I'm doing. I have every legal right to be here. Pretty arrogant interaction and some really aggressive, putting your hand in your face aggression. And that's the thing. So when you actually look as a whole, and when you look at what's being done, okay, this is why we do what we do, and how we do it, and why we do it. And this is the thing. So when you look, okay, literally, people have to remember that I have the legal right in which to be here. I've committed no crime, okay, I've broken no law. So why she decides to actually come out and give me this outright full aggression, I do not know. And that is the actual big thing, okay? And that is why when you actually look as a whole, okay, and what's actually going on, okay, that is why we do what we do, okay, and how we do it and why we do it. So, and that's the big thing.
Ladies.
No, they approached me, sir.
Okay, what
they came to me, sir. So let's verify that. They came to me, sir.
Yeah, okay. What did they say?
Okay. Well, telling me that I shouldn't be here, okay? I have every legal right to be here. I've spoken to several other officers here.
Okay.
Right? I'm here doing an actual documentary, okay?
Right.
On this police station and 2 other police stations where they put a unit together.
Okay.
Okay? And 5 of those officers committed sexual offences and were suspended for a total of 18 months.
Okay. Do you have any documentation to prove that you are allowed to?
Well, I'm in public, sir. I'm in public.
Okay.
I'm doing a perfectly lawful activity.
Well,
I'm in public and I'm allowed to film whatever I can see in public.
Okay.
And that is exactly what I'm doing, sir.
So you said that you're carrying out a documentary, is that right?
Yes, for myself.
Okay. For yourself?
Yes.
Okay. It was just understanding whether it was for the media or...
No, for myself, sir.
Okay. So what's your involvement in all of this? If these officers...
Well, I'm a member of the public, sir.
All right. But what's
I'm a
your
member.
Involvement in terms of
No, I'm a member of the public, okay, and I've come here, okay,
Yeah.
to actually find out whether or not any serving officer, okay, as a human being, believes that it's right for somebody in that position,
Right.
okay, to commit a crime such as that,
Okay.
right, and think that it's actually acceptable just purely.
Officer expresses that pointing a camera directly at someone's face can feel intimidating. That is a psychological argument rather than a legal one. Legally, there is generally no automatic prohibition on filming a person in public if there is no harassment, stalking, or targeted malicious behavior. However, the auditor's response is technically correct but socially nuanced. He points out that individuals always retain the freedom to walk away from a camera. This exchange illustrates a recurring modern dilemma. Technology has democratized documentation, but social norms around recording strangers have not fully adapted. Neither side is...
You take this lady here, okay, that was nearest to me.
All right.
Okay? When I was actually standing there on the corner, she came out, very aggressive, okay, literally put her hand up literally to my face, okay, telling me that I cannot film. I have the legal right in which to film.
Okay.
I'm in public and I'm allowed to film.
The issue here is this is a sensitive location.
What do you mean by sensitive location?
In the sense that there's a lot of individuals that work out of this station, and obviously we're in plain clothes as well as uniformed.
Yep, and I've had several interactions with both today.
All right.
Okay.
So, what I'm trying to say is, unless you've got a reason to...
And I do
take
have a
video
reason,
of
sir.
us,
And I do have a
I
reason.
don't think it's fair to put our serving members of the public out there for everyone to judge where we come in and where we come out, unless you have a reasonable excuse.
I'm here to do my own story.
Right.
Okay. I'm doing a legal activity. Okay. And I'm filming in public exactly where I'm legally allowed to go. Okay.
Right.
I've committed no crime. Okay. And I've broken no law, sir.
Okay. Well.
Okay. That's what I've said. I've spoken to at least, I would say, approximately.
Statement that he actively wants to highlight both good and bad policing is strategically significant. Accountability journalism functions best when it does not present institutions as purely villainous. This approach increases credibility because it demonstrates intellectual fairness.